chase you and bring flowery fragrances, breathing new life to the suffocated hills.
Today is the 13th day of the 8th month in the 9th year of Channel Group, September 19, 2021. To begin our day, let's offer our respect and gratitude to our Heavenly Parent and true parents of heaven, earth, and all humankind. 천진 천부모님께 경배. 바로. Let us recite Family Pledge number 1. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to seek a original homeland and build the kingdom of Heavenly Parent on earth and in heaven, the original ideal of creation, by centering on true love. 2. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to represent and become central to heaven and earth by attending the Heavenly Parent and true parents. We pledge to perfect the beautiful family way of filial sons and daughters in our family, patriots in our nation, saints in the world, and divine sons and daughters in heaven and on earth by centering on true love. 3. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to perfect the 4 great realms of heart, the 3 great kingships and realm of the royal family by centering on true love. 4. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to build the universal family encompassing heaven and earth, which is Heavenly Parent's ideal of creation, and perfect the world of freedom, peace, unity, and happiness by centering on true love. 5. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to strive every day to advance the unification of the spirit world and physical world as subject and object partners by centering on true love. 6. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by embodying the Heavenly Parent and true parents, and to perfect a family that conveys heaven's blessing to our community by centering on true love. 7. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges through living for the sake of others to perfect a world based on the culture of heart, which is rooted in the original lineage by centering on true love. 8. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges, having entered the era of Channel Group, to achieve the ideal of Heavenly Parent and human beings united in love through absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and to perfect the realm of liberation and complete freedom in the kingdom of Heavenly Parent on earth and in heaven by centering on true love.
For the opening prayer, may I ask Brother Alex Hermoso from the Central District.
Let's bow our heads. Good morning to you, beloved Heavenly Parents and true parents of heaven and earth and humankind. Today, September 19, 2021, we would like Heavenly Parents to invite your presence once again for this morning devotion, Heavenly Parents, to be held by our Philippine headquarters and hosted by the Piljap Community Heavenly Parents. Every day, Heavenly Parents, we are busy. And every day, Heavenly Parents, we want that we always participated, Heavenly Parents, especially in the works of our true Mother. The first cosmic 7-year Kinan course, Heavenly Parents, success brought us this Heavenly Parents, holy community. And true Mother is determined, Heavenly Parents, that in this second cosmic 7-year Kinan course, Heavenly Parents, would bring us, Father, to the establishment of the heavenly unified Korea by 2022, in the heavenly unified world by 2027. In this condition, Heavenly Parents, our blessed families, Heavenly Parents, and our leaders really doing their best, Heavenly Parents, to continue our Heavenly Tribal Messiah mission, Heavenly Parents, in the area that close to us, Heavenly Parents. In our Reverend Holy Heavenly Parents of the Asia Pacific too is bringing us, Heavenly Parents, coming up with this Pacific Christian Leadership Conference. Especially, we will be having a rally on September 5, and through Mother approve of this, Heavenly Parents. We pray that we may be guided accordingly, Heavenly Parents, every day. And we pray, Heavenly Parents, that all of us could truly be able, Father, to be working on this, Heavenly Parents, in unity with our leaders' heart to support our true Mother. So to support our true parents and offer you success, Heavenly Parents. We thank you so much, loving Heavenly Parents, for the blessing you have given to us every day. We pray that really all of us could truly be able, Father, to do our best. It is the testament of our church that even before Father, the true parents have been attacked Heavenly Parents by Christians, by everybody, Father, by the community. But true Father just never falter and go on. And always prospered and always succeed, Heavenly Parents. So I pray that on September 5, the first rally, Heavenly Parents, of the Pacific Christian Leadership Conference, it could be a bring success with your love and guidance. Today, Heavenly Parents, in this morning devotion, we would like to invite your presence to be in each one of us heart, Father, for us to understand, Father, again, the powerful guidance, Heavenly Parents, of yours through our Reverend Leo Angelo Halo. We thank you so much, Father, for this day again. I would like to offer you this in behalf of the Philip community, in our families, in the name of Alice Hermosa Central, this family. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Alex Hermoso, for that heartfelt prayer. Now, let us offer our unison prayer. Jew. Let us offer our morning greetings. Good morning, Heavenly Parent, our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Good morning, leaders. Good morning, blessed families, brothers and sisters from around the globe attending on our virtual morning devotion today. Welcome po. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Rio Gingayan, and I'm representing the PhilJap second generation here, and I'll be your MC for this morning. And also, I would like to thank so much for giving the opportunity for our PhilJap blessed community in Japan to host this national morning devotion. To move on, I would like to ask Brother Chombo, Nestor Lales from the Central District for Hondo Care reading.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Can you hear?
Yes.
Mother of Peace, a memoir by Hak Jahan Moon. Chapter 1, My Cherished Lifelong Wish. These were special people leaders from all fields, gathered from throughout the global village, many traversing long distances for the sake of peace. Everyone desires peace, but peace does not come easily. If it were as a commonplace as stones on the side of a country road or trees on a mountainside, you would never have experienced the terrible wars and conflicts that plague the human world. But bringing peace demands that everyone invest sweat, tears, and sometimes blood. That is why even though we long for peace, we seldom achieve it. Next. To experience true peace, we must first practice true love without expectation of reward. My husband and I walked this path, and continuing on it, I prepared the Sunhak Peace Prize as a gift for the world from Father Moon. Despite the rain on this first day of the awards ceremony, none of the guests could suppress their excitement. They were like little children about to receive a special gift. Everyone was wide-eyed as they greeted the person beside them, one saying, "There are so many kinds of people here. I've never been to a more diverse gathering." And the other, "It's unbelievable. I wonder where that attire is from." The event was an exhibition of the world ethnicities. The hall was alive with the rushing flow of various languages. Everyone's eyes showed gratitude on behalf of the entire human family. People seeing me for the first time focused on the stage to get a good look, wondering, who is this Hak Jehan Moon? Then they would tilt their head quizzically. Perhaps they considered my clothes to be no finer than theirs and that I looked like a typical mother. As I prepared the Sunak Peace Prize project, my utmost concern was that people would understand its fundamental root. To embrace the future, we must expand the scope of vocation that can herald the coming of peace. Even though we may never meet our descendants, we must make sure that all their activities will harmonize in peaceful societies and nations. After serious considerations and discussions, the Sunak Foundation determined its overarching orientation, the peace that transcends the present and build the future. True peace certainly requires that we resolve the current conflict between religions, races, and nations. The even greater challenges that we face, however, include the destruction of the environment and demographic trends. The world-leading peace awards focus on solving the problems of the present generation, yet we must solve the problems of the present in a way that is integrated with practical vision for a happy future. I founded the Sunak Peace Prize as a bridge bringing us out of this world maelstrom of conflict and as a compass point to a future homeland of peace. The oceans are a treasured resource. In every era of recorded history, humanity has experienced incredible pain. The most tragic period was the most recent, the 20th century. Wars raged ceaselessly across the global village, and countless good people lost their lives in that savagery. I was born during the Japanese occupation of Korea, and I experienced the aftermath of World War II and the Korean War. I still cannot forget the terrible things I witnessed as a small child. Those times have passed, and now we are waging war against a complex enemy. The temptation to forget our responsibilities to our families and the natural environment and seek only personal comfort and convenience. Fortunately, we have a deep moral sense and wisdom and practical methods by which we can work together to achieve God's ideal. All people hope that we can recover and sustain the oceans as the heavenly parents created them. Covering 70% of the earth, the oceans contains immense resources like hidden treasure. They hold solutions for the dilemmas confronting the human race. I have emphasized the importance of the ocean on many occasions, and I have, together with my husband, suggested various approaches we might take accordingly. The ocean was chosen as the theme for the first Sunhak Peace Prize. The Peace Prize Committee oversaw a strict process to select righteous, achievement-oriented leaders in this arena. Those selected as our laureates that year were Dr. M. Vijay Gupta of India and President Anoti Tong of Kiribati, a small island nation in the South Pacific. Dr. Gupta is a scientist who, concerned over persistent food shortages, led the Blue Revolution by developing fish farming technologies. He greatly contributed to relieving hunger among the poor by widely distributing these technologies in Southeast Asia and Africa. President Anote Tong is a leading global advocate for the intelligent preservation and management of the marine ecosystem. It is predicted that much of this nation of Kiribati could be submerged in less than 30 years due to the rising sea level. In the face of such a crisis, President Tong took the lead toward protecting the ecosystem by creating the largest protected marine park in the world, Aju.
Thank you very much, Brother Nestor Lales. For the next, we'd like to have for the 10 points of gratitude. Please help me welcome one of our Chombo, our brother Chombo, Arthur Silong, with a round of a virtual applause.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust. Thank you so much, brothers and sisters. Thank you, Heavenly Parents and True Parents. These are my 10 points of gratitude. I am grateful and thankful for Heavenly Parents and True Parents by giving us the blessings in our daily life. Second, I am grateful and thankful to all our national leaders, regional leaders, center leaders of their continued support for the realization of the present providence. And three, I'm grateful and thankful to Pastor Jun Jumawan and his beloved wife of their hard work for Heavenly Parents and True Parents despite of their external activities, earning for a living. And number four is that I'm grateful. I'm grateful and thankful that my wife Hiromi and our beloved blessed children Myra, Kento, Nao, and Haru of their existence, and that through them I feel really I was being protected of their own prayers. And I'm very grateful and thankful that all brothers and sisters of Philyap, especially to Sister Nina and also Alex Basabi, by doing their best in giving lectures to our HTM in Bicol. And also in number 6, I'm grateful and thankful that all brothers and sisters here in Philyap doing their best also through our communications and through social media. We are bound to each other and closer more to each other, centering to God. And number 8, I am grateful and thankful to Gingayan's family that their heartfelt in oneness to my family. Hibaragi home was realized and created. And number 9, I am grateful and thankful also that I'm healthy internally and externally, that I can actively support my family and also to brothers and sisters, and also all people surrounding us. And number 10, I'm grateful and thankful to my able and kind tribe that through them, I feel Heavenly Parents and true parents wanting us to be as their true sons and daughters. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Brother Arthur Silong, for sharing to us the 10 points of gratitude. To enlighten this morning, there will be an offering song. This song is entitled Morning Light, which was composed by our brother Jess Juliano from the East District, and he will be singing it for us. Please help me in welcoming him with a round of a virtual applause.
masa.
Thank you so much for your wonderful song rendition, Brother Jess Juliano. Let us give him again a round of a virtual applause. From now on, let us open our heart and minds for the main internal guidance for today's morning devotion. Please help me with a round of a virtual applause, our very own hardworking and passionate national leader, Reverend Dr. Leo Angelo T. Halo.
Thank you very much, our brother Ryu. Thank you very much to our second generation who are now really taking responsibility. I would like to greet first our heavenly parents and true parents. Morning, heavenly parents and true parents. To all our beloved leaders, Chondo families, the central families, and brothers and sisters, I'd like to greet all of you. Happy Sunday and good morning to everyone. And let us greet each other po. Your spouse, your children, brothers and sisters in the center. And today is again another special day for all of us that we could come together. Yeah, so we are counting days before our historic Pacific Christian Leadership Conference. So today at the same time, this will be our Sunday service because I know also everybody's very busy, also working very hard for inviting people, especially today, Sunday. I remember in Palau, when we had the First Ladies Summit there, also I joined, I helped also there that time. We are inviting also religious groups. And then we go to their mass, actually. We join their mass during Sundays. And we spoke there after the mass, and then we spoke there to the minister. So also, I think this time because we are inviting also church leaders and ministers. So if we have the opportunity in our areas, if there are masses, because some areas already they are doing limited number, we can join and we can meet the minister themselves. And then it's good also we can feel that we are like really like one with them, whatever religious practices they have, but we can join them in the churches. So it's a great opportunity also today. If you have the opportunity to visit churches, those who are doing their masses after the mass, or even during the mass before it begins, you can start to talk to the head priest or ministers there. And then maybe they can also allow you to announce about our PCLC, and to their congregation, you will be the ones who will going to tell them also details. So this is what we have done in Palau. We attended several churches. We joined their services, and then we announced our event at time. So since today is Sunday, so I think this is also a good chance for all of us. Yeah, this morning I would like to share with you. Actually, I really don't know what to share. I'm really thinking. I searched last night until this early morning what to really share with you. Every day we are also receiving guidance, and because of online also, actually everywhere, almost all of us are updated with also new things. So this time I'm really thinking what to share. So I realized that our situation is really not easy still this time, still a lot of challenges. Internally, externally, a lot of challenges. So today, I would like to share this topic entitled Perseverance, Endurance, and Forbearance. And so despite the situation that we are in, we have to really persevere, we have to endure, and we have to forbear. We have to really overcome the situations that we are facing. So based on Father's guidance, I would like to share this morning. So true Father said, you must become a living offering who can climb over the hill of perseverance. On your quest You will be hampered by innumerable foes, but you must fight them and fight them again. Advance and advance again. Clash and clash again. Thus, supporting the altar of patience with your shoulders, feet, hands, torso, and head, you must become a living offering who can climb over the hill of perseverance. So, because also of the pandemic, a lot of challenges, many things we want to do, especially now in the mobilization, it's really quite challenging. Some people, they don't want to meet in person. Actually, that's the reality, right? So especially, you know, sometimes high level people this time, not easy to meet them. But that's why today, despite these challenges and difficulties that we are facing in our situation, we have to continue. God's providence cannot stop, right? God's providence cannot stop. So anyway, already many people have, maybe have received the vaccine, because it will be easier for you if you have to move around. If you don't have really some areas, you will not really be allowed to go. So despite the situation now, how can we focus with our goal? And then we have today is already September 19. We have around just 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks before our event. And just a very few religious leaders yet we have invited or registered. I think the other day we don't have yet. I couldn't see the yesterday, but we don't really have religious leaders yet. So we have 2 weeks remain. So we have to really find the best time and really the right timing how to meet these religious leaders. That's why it's also good strategy. You know, if you like Sunday this time, you go there not only to invite them first, because you know Christian churches, they are open. They allow anybody to attend their service. So if you have the opportunity to attend their service, then also that's the best opportunity also to invite them, right? That's the good chance. So despite these difficulties and challenges, Father is telling us, so on your quest, you will be hampered by innumerable foes, but you must fight them and fight them again, advance and advance again, clash and clash again. So thus supporting the altar of patience with your shoulders, feet, hands, torso, and head, you must become a living offering who can climb over the hill of perseverance. So despite the difficulties that we are facing, we have to persevere. We have to continue to find a way and continue to move forward, right? So only this that we can truly bring victory. Some people, they don't have, patience. They have, very low perseverance. They cannot really persevere. They easily gives up. So this is the nature of, fallen human beings. Very easy to give up. Sometimes when we try to reach out, especially high level, people, maybe 1 time, 2 times, sometimes we already give up, right? But we have to continue to persevere until we can bring victory. That's why Father is saying here, you must become a living offering who can climb over the hill of perseverance. So despite the difficulties and challenges that are being experienced along the way, we have to, Father said, fight again and fight again. Advance and advance again. Never give up. This is the key to victory, right? This kind of spirit. So we have to move forward despite the challenges and difficulties that we are experiencing, lalong-lalo na po ngayon. Individually, in our family level, there are a lot of challenges, but we just need to move forward. Aju, this is how Father, won and really brought victory. So we have to really inherit this kind of heart and spirit and truly move forward with, even greater determination every day. Every time we were, rejected or neglected or persecuted, we have to move forward continuously. The more we have to generate our greater determination, and then that is the way for us to be victorious. True Father said, a mature person makes effort to discover the sweet taste in all things. A mature person makes effort to discover the sweet taste in all things, Peter. That way, he knows the real taste. It is a law that things are sometimes up, sometimes down. as they go through their cycles. Likewise, sweet things leave a bitter taste, while bitter things have some sweetness in them. So that's why life is like, sabi nga, it's like a wheel, right? Sometimes we are up, sometimes we are down. This is the cycle of life. So Father is saying here, it is a law that things are sometimes up, sometimes down as they go through their cycles. But in different levels, we learn something, right? Because if always up, we become so arrogant. So, but when we are sometimes down, then we learn how to humble ourselves. So we can know, what kind of heart of the people who are in the lower position. If you are always up, you don't know the heart of people, down, right? So that's why life cycle is sometimes we are up, sometimes we are down. So we can know and understand, each people. So this is life cycle. Father saying that despite this, sometimes our life is up, sometimes down, but a mature person, sabi ni Father, makes effort to discover the sweet taste in all things bitter. So in times of difficulties and challenges in our life, sometimes, may mga nangyari sa buhay natin, we feel so down. We feel so depressed. That's why, people, just decide to end their life because of too much depressed, because of some situations in their life. Not only outside people, even us sometimes. As blessed families, we have also different situations in life. But Father is saying that a mature person makes effort to discover the sweet taste in all things bitter. Even in the most challenging and difficult times of life, we still can find, something sweet, or we can see the opportunity still, despite, the difficulties that we are facing. Aju? So this is a mature person, sabi ni Father. Always try to discover the sweet taste instead of being depressed, right? Or being down. But he could, see some opportunity. Despite the bitter taste, sabi ni Father, still can find the sweet taste. This is the mature person. That's why through learning, through parents' teachings, through our experiences in life, we grow, we develop. So kaya kahit anong situations minsan kinakaharap natin, yung mga matagal na nag-full-time sa church natin, we have gone through a lot of frontline activities and missions, you can see, parang wala silang problema. Parang kahit na may mga difficulties sa buhay nila, like normal for them because they were trained, and then they could start to see the opportunity in difficulties. They could try to taste the sweetness of, bitter things, sabi ni Father. So they could develop, they could mature themselves. Right? So this is a law, sabi ni Father, that sometimes ang buhay natin, we are up, we are down. There are really challenges, there are difficulties. But the most important, how we look at things, how we look at situation of life. Aju, there are always opportunities that we can see. Depends on the way we think. Depends on the way we look at, things, especially on God's perspective. Minsan kasi, ang nakikita lang po natin, based on our own perspective. Kaya minsan, pag nakita natin yung situation, parang very sad, right? Very difficult. So, sometimes, recently, right, we have one second generation that has offered, he was, he became an offering actually. Yeah, that's the reality. Sometimes, we have to put our feet in the shoes of the parents. Actually, it's really not easy for the parents themselves. But, but if we try to look at another perspective, right? That's why I could share also with them what President Hori have shared yesterday during the Songwa. That, in behalf of the Philippines and Asia, our second gen, he was called by God. And then he doesn't only belong to their family. He actually represents all of us. And then that situation, that scenario can happen to any blessed families among us, right? It can happen to anyone. But the most important is this time, how can we give value to the sacrifice that have made? Yeah, President Hori's guidance, sabi niya, we have to use this sacrifice, this foundation for us to better ourselves, to, be more close to Heavenly Parent and true parents, right? To really advance forward more the providence. through the sacrifice that have been made. Right? So we can give value to the sacrifice that have been made. Kapag tayo ayusin natin more, mag-determine more tayo sa buhay natin, and then we can bring more result. And also, the second gen will be happier to see that through the sacrifice, then we could accomplish more. We could support more our beloved true mother. So the perspective should, yung perspective natin should change. But if only we focus on our own thinking and perspective, then it's not easy, right? That's why, sabi ni Father, a mature person really makes effort to see things in a different perspective, especially in God's perspective. Aju, kaya nga, really, we have to learn this well because life is sometimes up and sometimes down, sabi ni Father. Likewise, sweet things also leave a bitter taste, while bitter things have some sweetness in them. So this is really important, despite the situations po na kinakaharap natin ngayon. So some people who just look at things, on the negative way, a negative aspect, these are the ones who lose hope, right? Until they are too depressed. Kaya nga, during this pandemic, tumaas po yung rate ng nagsusuicide because of this mindset and thinking, right? Yung mental health nila were really affected and so much down. So that's why we are truly grateful to true parents, we could experience a lot of, challenges and difficulties in our life before we receive the blessing, lalong-lalo na po yung mga elders natin. So these are truly an amazing blessing that we were trained through this. We could be able to see things in a different perspective. Aju, this is truly important. True Father said, we should understand that sacrifice and endurance dwell in it. No matter how tired I may feel, once I think of the responsibility I have yet to fulfill, all that feeling of fatigue dissipates. The way of religion is prolonged endurance. The way of religion is continual sacrifice. When in faith we endure and sacrifice, we can find the world of great love that God has been working towards. This is definitely true. Therefore, when we say that God is love, we should understand that sacrifice and endurance dwell in it. Many people just wanted to receive love, but they don't want to sacrifice. They don't want to experience difficulty. That's why selfish people only just want to receive something. So when you want to receive love, there's also, corresponding amount of, sacrifice needed, right? You have to endure. So Father is saying here, no matter how tired I may feel, once I think of the responsibility I have yet to fulfill, all that feeling of fatigue dissipates. That's why when we really understand that God called us, all of us, to work together with true parents now. Kaya kahit ano pong problema, difficulties in our family, in our tribe, in our extended family, we have to endure when we think about our responsibility that heaven has bestowed upon us. This great blessing that heaven has given us. When we think about our responsibility, how can we, feel down and not to stand up and move forward, right? Tayo in our own tribe, in our own lineage, kapag tayo po ang nauna na nakamit kina true parents, and then actually we have to really face a lot of challenges. And then can you imagine once you give up, what will going to happen? Someone again from your lineage, someone again from your tribe have to continue. And then you have to expect more challenges, more than the ones that you are facing this time. Kaya nga, when we think about our responsibility, sabi ni Father, we have to, like our true parents, we can, eliminate all these, difficulties and, depress a feeling, this kind of thing, that we are like tired, our physical body. When we think about, still a long way we have to go for our descendants, right? So that they can live well, for our own children, our children's children. How can we slow down? How can we give up when we think about like our true parents? So ngayon, when true mother is thinking about still the work that needs to be done, that needs to be accomplished, how can our true mother take a rest? Right? 2027 is really, coming to closer to this time, right? We are coming closer to 2027. How can we slow down? Kaya despite the COVID situation now, how can we slow down? We have to continue, find a way, persevere, endure, right? So that's why in order for us to be victorious and receive love, we have to really sacrifice. We have to endure the situation. So Father is explaining that religion is a prolonged endurance. The way of religion is continual sacrifice. Originally, this is the role of religion, continuously reaching out people, continuously educating people to the right path, and bringing humanity to Heavenly Parent. Kaya even how many times you share the gospel, the good news to the person, there's still how many times it's not at one time. Sometimes when we are witnessing, di po ba? Hindi lang naman po minsan. How many times already? Also, I'm witnessing to one of my classmates. Many times I'm communicating sa kanya. He's also a very religious person. I just send all the links sa kanya, but I don't know if he's joining and attending. So we need to continue. I'm saying one day she will respond, or he will respond. One day. So like religion, sabi ni Father, it's a prolonged endurance, continual sacrifice. So sabi ni Father, when in faith we endure and sacrifice, we can find the world of great love that God has been working towards. This is definitely true. So therefore, when we say that God is love, we should understand that sacrifice and endurance dwell in it. So in order for us to receive love, so together with this is we also need to sacrifice and endure. Aju? That's why this time po, despite this situation, we have to continue, move forward. We have to really challenge. Last time, President Hori is talking about challenge. We have to really challenge. As blessed families, brothers and sisters, whatever, as we understand our responsibility, our mission, kahit na mahirap, we have to challenge, we have to start. Only through challenging something, we can break through. We can be victorious. But without challenging, we just want to stay in our comfort area, comfort zone, then nothing will going to happen. That's why we have to challenge. Ibig sabihin kapag magcha-challenge tayo, yung bagay na hindi mo pa nagawa dati, yun yung gagawin mo. Kaya nga, when we are fundraising, when we are witnessing, so we are trying to do new things. Kasi nga, kung pareho lang pa rin yung gagawin natin, the same result. So if we really wanted to accomplish greater things, we have to challenge also greater things. We have to make, ourselves more. We have to challenge more ourselves. Aju? So we have to remember, sabi ni Father, in order for us to receive love, when we believe about, God's love, but together with this love is sacrifice and endurance. Aju? That's why we have to invest our effort and really sacrifice. So this is absolutely needed. Father said, the good stays patient and endures even through struggle and frustration. Which is the good side? The good side waits for a long time, keeps patience for a long time, and keeps hope for a long time. So the evil side has no patience. If it is at a disadvantage, it will try to punch the other and jump to action at once. The good stays patient and endures even through struggle and frustration. Whatever comes, it maintains hope and does not fall into despair. A good person is patient and enduring not only for himself, he is also patient and enduring for those who are not patient. So, we can see the distinction between good and evil. Already many times, many situations, Father explained to us clearly. So now in the concept of, patience and endurance, the same is true. What is good side, sabi ni Father? The good side always can wait for a long time, keeps patience and for a long time, and keeps hope for a long time. But the evil side has no patience. If it is at a disadvantage, immediately it will try to punch the other and jump to action at once. So the good stays patient and endures even through struggle and frustration. Kaya despite the difficulty, despite the struggle, despite frustration, good side always stays calm and patient. Always the patience is there. So whatever comes, it maintains hope and does not fall into despair. Kaya nga how much Heavenly Parents have been, practicing patience for thousands of years. Right? For thousands of years. Kaya nga, sabi nga, meron tayong kasabihan, patience is virtue. Right? This is like high moral standard. So that's why if you have may pasensya tayo, then that is virtue, highest moral standard. That's why we have to learn and also teach this to our children. Right? If we don't have patience, then a lot of problems later on we will going to encounter. Kaya nga tinuturo natin sa mga, minsan we can see, of course they are children, but when you teach them, they can learn, they can understand. When you teach them about patience, kasi ang bata, minsan hindi yan makapaghintay. But when you start to teach them well, they can understand. So I realize this is important to teach to our young children. Right? So about patience. So good side always can have the capacity to wait and to keep the patience despite the challenges and difficulties, despite the struggle and frustration. So a good person is patient and enduring not only for himself. He is also patient and enduring for those who are not patient. So that's why this attitude is truly important for us. So minsan ang tagal na natin, di po ba ang tagal na natin sa movement natin? Really not easy for us, but still you are keep going. You are keeping the patience in you. So this is important. And then you never get frustrated. What happens to some brothers and sisters who doesn't have patience? They lost actually the way, and then they left our movement. They left our church. They don't have patience. Right? Sabi na, ang tagal-tagal ko na dito sa movement. Parang walang nangyari sa buhay ko. So what happens? But of course, this kind of situation, we also need to reflect. Are we doing our responsibility really well? Am I really doing the right thing? Right? Am I doing the right thing? This is important. That's why it's time also to reflect. But ultimately, sometimes there are really difficulties sa buhay. But that's why important our patience. So the good side is always, practicing, patience. Palaging meron yan. Evil side, wala. Cannot wait. Immediately they want to do. And then if they are in the disadvantage point, sabi ni Father, immediately they take action na, immediately they want to do something. But those who are on the good side, sabi ni Father, keep on enduring despite the challenges and difficulties. Aju? Father said, because Jesus endured and went on, he was victorious. So what was the secret of Jesus' victory over death? He lived for the sake of others and established a path of endurance through his own example. If in the Garden of Gethsemane, he had said, Father, take this cup away from me. Please, I insist on it. He would have lost everything. Yet, instead he said, nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done. Because he endured and went on, he was victorious. That is his greatness. Can you imagine what the victory of Jesus, Father, is saying here? Because of his, patience and endurance. So Jesus could overcome that. Father is saying here, because he endured and went on, he was victorious. He became victorious. Can you imagine? It seems like this attitude is simple, but actually, it can, this is the main reason why Jesus overcame death. So when he was praying in the Garden of Gethsemane, Father is explaining here, if Jesus said that, Father, take this cup away from me. Please, I insist on it. If Jesus have done that, then he have lost everything, sabi ni Father. Yet instead he said, nevertheless, not my will, but thy will. So Jesus was so, patient, and then he endured. It depends on our heavenly parent. Sometimes we cannot wait. Meron tayong ganitong character. Minsan hindi natin mahintay yung evil natin, magsabi, even me, sometimes I need to, learn many things still until this time. So, tayo rin po. Gusto natin gawin, immediately ginagawa na lang natin without, waiting. Yan, gusto ba talaga? Yan ba talaga ang gustong gawin ni God? Hindi po, porque dahil das family na po tayo, hindi dahil leader ako, I can just do anything I want. Right? So, we have to really report and ask. So, the same is true. Sabi ni Jesus dito, not because this is what I will. This is what I want to do. But, depends on the will of our Heavenly Parent. So, that's why we have to really learn this virtue, this character of being, patience and really have the capacity to endure. Right? So this is really self-denial. Actually, we have to really deny yung gusto natin gawin, immediately gusto natin gawin, but we cannot just do it, right? So this is actually the secret why Jesus became victorious. So this is really important. Kaya hindi lamang po ito simple. Yung patience, yung endurance, forbearance, this is not just simple. This is very important for us to be successful and victorious in our journey. As you, in our mission, and really become victorious in the mission that was given to us. Father said that no torture or punishment could make me deviate from the heavenly path. So no torture or punishment could make me deviate from the heavenly path, nor could 6 imprisonments stand in the way of true parents' search for his children. As I sat in a cold prison cell and watched drops of water fall from an eave, I pledged to myself, just as those droplets will eventually bore a hole through a boulder, the day will certainly come when these hot tears that fall from my eyes will melt God's heart that is frozen in grief and bring him liberation and release. You know, this is truly very important. Kaya nga kahit na sa tingin natin, it's like almost it's not moving. Yung providence natin, yung sa family natin, why still I'm still here? Parang hindi nagmo-move, you know, as you continue, sabi ni Father's explaining dito, it's like, you know, di ba kapag umuulan po sa bungko ng bahay natin, sa dulo niya, tumutulo po yan siya sa baba. If you try to look down, you're going to see some hole doon. Maliit lang po yung patak ng ulan, yung droplets. But kapag palagi po yun, continuously, makikita natin, di po ba sa mga lugar po, ngayon, tag-ulan po ngayon, you try to see, makikita nyo, palalim ng palalim yung hole doon na tinatamaan ng droplets. The same is true, sabi ni Father. The same is true. Just as those droplets will eventually bore a hole through a boulder, the day will certainly come when these hot tears that fall from my eyes will melt God's heart that is frozen in grief and bring him liberation and release. So, like the same is true in the providence in our nation. Why ngayon parang ang dali na? Meron na tayong mga partnership with the government. Now we are working with the government. This is not just happening because of us now, because of our leaders now doing or being involved in these programs. This is not. This is the result of the continuous effort of all our leaders, all those who came before us. Right? So, ngayon, nangyayari na, nagkakaroon na ng result. You know, the things that are happening now in the world. Right? This is the result of all the efforts of brothers and sisters, our elders, the pioneers, the missionaries, of course, our true parents' effort from the very beginning. Really, now bringing, ito na yung sinasabi ni Father that one day, these hot tears that fall from my eyes will melt God's heart that is frozen in grief and bring him liberation and release. That's why, brothers and sisters, don't worry. Sometimes, kapag parang nakikita natin, wala pa rin result. That's why we have to be patient. Right? We just need to continue. The more na parang walang nangyayari, the more we have to work harder. The more we have to put more effort. And then one day, we will going to see. Definitely. We're going to see. Please remember this, what Father is saying. It's like the droplets of water. That one day, as it continues, it will bore a hole. The same is true po yung effort na ginagawa natin. Adju, that's why kahit ano pong difficulties and challenges na experience natin, we just need to continue. We need to become like Father na sabi ni Father, no torture or punishment could make me deviate from the heavenly path. Tayo rin po dapat, no challenges and difficulties and problems sa ating family, in our tribe, that will going to deviate us from this path. Aju, that's why this is really important. Father have been in prison for how many times? Never. Even Father never asked even help from Heavenly Parent. But instead, Father always comfort Heavenly Parent, even he is in the most difficult situation, even if he is in the life and death situation. But tayo po, pag tayo nahirapan na, immediately we pray from Heavenly Parent. We pray to God, Heavenly Parent, please help me overcome this. But sometimes we've already forgot our Heavenly Parent also is suffering. Dapat tayo yung mag-bring ng comfort sa Kanya. Kahit na tayo na nahihirapan na, we are in difficulty, really not easy as fallen human beings. But how can we, slowly mature ourselves, our character, our spirit, right? And then we can start to see different perspective in life. We become more positive sa buhay natin. And then whatever challenges and difficulties, and then slowly we can see things are truly moving. So that's why kahit ano pa pong difficulties, we shouldn't, be deviated. We shouldn't be, stopped by these difficulties. But we have to move on continuously until surely one day we can really become victorious. So Father said, you must feel God's patience as your patience and God's endurance as your endurance. So God has the mind to forbear with patience in order to one day embrace the satanic world and even hell. That is why even the demons in hell will bow their heads before his presence. Therefore, if you desire to become champions at the last, the Father's sons and daughters at the last, then in your minds and bodies, you must feel God's patience as your patience and God's endurance as your endurance. So the being that really endures the most and persevered the most and who has the greatest patience is our Heavenly Parent, who has the greatest patience. So more than anyone in this world, in this universe, only our Heavenly Parent. Can you imagine? Thousands of years already our Heavenly Parent waiting and enduring, keeping his patience that one day he can embrace all humanity. Many people have been called, but they fail. Another person was called and then fail. Can you imagine this course that our Heavenly Parent have gone through? Sino pa kaya ang mas may capacity to, more than our Heavenly Parent to endure and then having this kind of patience and to persevere as our Heavenly Parent have persevered? No one on earth, no one in history, no one in the universe. Our Heavenly Parent is the only ones who have persevered this long until this time, thousands of years. Kaya nga sabi ni Father, therefore, if you desire to become champions at the last, the Father's sons and daughters at the last, kapag tayo raw nag-desire tayo to become victorious, to become champions, what is the only way for us to be victorious? Then we have to, sabi ni Father, then in your minds and bodies, you must feel God's patience as your patience. And then God's endurance as your endurance. So this is the only way. Kaya nga, we have to inherit completely the endurance, the patience of our Heavenly Parent, the perseverance of our Heavenly Parent. We have to inherit and practice in our life. So in our mind and also in our bodies, we have to feel it, sabi ni Father. The patience of God as ours. And then the endurance of God as our endurance. This is the only way. Kaya nga po ngayon, during this time of pandemic, lalong-lalo na, sometimes we easily get distracted, we easily get disappointed. Kapag tayo po ay, we are trying to do our mission, sometimes we pity ourselves. Ang tagal ko naman, ginagawa ko naman yung best ko. Right? Ang tagal-tagal ko nang ginagawa, nag-endure, while still suffering. This kind of thinking. This will put you down more. Right? But instead, we have to lift up ourselves, right, despite the situation now. Kaya nga, this time po, through our PCLC, Pacific Christian Leadership Conference, we encourage all our beloved blessed families, brothers and sisters, na hindi lamang po tayo manunood during the event, but we have to bring people, we have to encourage people to come, right? So, we have to really become part of this event. Hindi lamang po tayo manunood, hindi lamang po tayo magpa-participate, hindi lamang po yun. But we will be owner. Ibig sabihin, we will bring people to join and participate. And also together with that, we will offer our Hyojong offering. With all our hearts, we will find a way. So that's why ngayon po is the time to really show our faith and love to our Heavenly Parents and true parents through our actions, through the substance. Kaya nga po, ito na yung time kasi online naman po yung event natin. Online naman po, let's try to reach out religious leaders. We have some friends, even mga old friends natin siguro, some of them became religious leaders ngayon. So we have to really invite them. We have to surpass, lalong-lalo na sa conference po, yung goal natin na 2,000. We have to surpass that. We have to really top the top religious leaders in our areas. Aju, kaya nga po, this is now the time, despite the challenges and difficulties, we have to show our perseverance, our endurance, our patience. But of course, hindi lamang po naghihintay lamang po tayo. But we have to do. We have to work and really put our effort. Aju? That's why no matter what, let's really challenge po. And really let's bring people in our Pacific Christian Leadership Conference. So I check in IP's TV, nandun na sa announcement talaga nila yun because it became really part of True Parents 9th year Songwa anniversary. Kaya ito pong event natin na to, this is centering on our beloved True Mother. Right? Not only in Asia Pacific actually, not only in our nation. So can you imagine this event? So these people who will be participating, how much grace they will be receiving because this event is directly from True Mother, from True Parents. Hindi lamang po ito Asia Pacific, hindi lamang po ito in the Philippine level. Kaya these people who will be joining, they will surely receive a lot of grace. Aju, they will surely receive a lot of grace from heaven, from True Parents, from Heavenly Parent. So despite the challenges and difficulties, let's endure and let's be more patient. So Father said we need to think in our mind, in our bodies, we have to really feel God's patience as ours and then God's endurance as ours. That's why despite the difficulties, our beloved blessed families and brothers and sisters, let's move forward continuously. Aju, please don't be disappointed. Please don't be depressed. If sometimes, still our cherished desire hindi pa nangyayari. Na ginagawa naman natin yung best natin. We are working hard naman. But just need to continue to persevere. Please remember when you are in that point in your life, please remember how much our Heavenly Parent has persevered. How much Heavenly Parents have endured. Right? And how much Heavenly Parent kept His patience. And really waiting until this time that one day, Heavenly Parents can embrace all His children. And then really Kingdom of Heaven can be realized. So let's really do our best, right? That the perseverance of Heavenly Parent and True Parents, keeping His patience, that one day it will already come to pass, or the cherished dream and desire of Heavenly Parent can be realized through our efforts also. Aju, so let's really move forward with this understanding that True Parents have shared to us today, and they really let's bring victory for our PCLC and all our activities we are doing. Let's really show our love and really our effort to our Heavenly Parent and True Parents by bringing substantial result. So once again, I would like to really thank you, and let's really thank our Heavenly Parents and True Parents for this guidance today. Let's really appreciate and give our warm of applause to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Thank you so much, beloved brothers and sisters. Let's really work hard and really move forward and really bring victory. Once again, I wish you all the best, all the love and blessings from Heavenly Parents and True Parents may upon you and your families. Let us also stay safe and happy all the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, our national leader, Reverend Leo Angelo. I are very, I really felt this is a faith that I heard this topic about really new challenge through perseverance, endurance, and forbearance. So because this being an MC today is my challenge, new challenge for me. And from yesterday, I was very nervous. Is it okay? Is it possible? But through this morning devotion today that I heard, really, I felt hope for myself. I created something like kaya ko to, like I can do it. Yeah. So really, with this Corona pandemic is also the biggest challenges for every one of us. So really, I always keep in my heart what is the biggest thing that when it comes to like despair or feeling difficult is God is always with us. God is our hope. So we must be always be a person of full of hope. So let us really challenge to see something new and to really let us say yes by having this by having hope to really persevere, endure, and forbear. So thank you very much. Once again, we would like to let us give our national leader a round of a virtual applause. So next, for the reflection, I would like to call on Brother Joaquin Kalugan for from the area leader in the East District. Let us give him a round of a virtual applause.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for that wonderful message, National Leader Reverend Angelo Halog. Thank you so much, and thank you for giving me this chance to share. And just like what our MC said today, today's his challenge. It was challenged to be the host for today, and for me, so ako din. This is my first time to give my sharing for morning devotion. So I hope I'll do my best to share what I can do. Anyway, thank you so much. This was a really very nice message for today about perseverance, endurance, and forbearance. But before that, I have two reflections about the first about the Hondoke, the morning reading about solving the problem of current generation. Nowadays, I think we have many problems coming up. We have many problems. So even in the society, we do have these SDG, Sustainable Development Programs, and also further emphasize about this. We have to solving the environmental problem. So he suggested that we have to do fishing. So through fishing, we can solve some hunger. We can solve world issues like hunger. Kaya Father encouraged us to do the ocean providence. Yes, if you remember, Father's messages in the early days, that he encouraged us to do fishing or ocean providence. And in the ocean, I think marami tayong makukuha doon, and then lots of resources that can help solve the world hunger. Yes, that's one thing. Another thing for today's devotion message was really about very perseverance, endurance, and forbearance. So today's first challenge for me is to give morning devotion, morning sharing today. And that's the first challenge for me today. And I think in everyday life, we are challenged to do something. So if we don't challenge ourselves, wala pong mangyayari sa ating buhay. So Father also said that there's 8 stages in our lives that we have to go through. We have to, yes, challenge ourselves at 8 stages. So in every level, pag natapos na overcome natin yung first level, then we have to go to the next level. Yeah. And sa individual, sa family, sa tribe, and then sa society level. So before starting family, I'm sure when we did fundraising, we had lots of challenges. So usually at the end of the day, so for the first day, for many hours of doing fundraising, walang result. But at the end, last minute, boom, and doon na yung goal mo. Kaya for those who did fundraising, I'm sure you had this wonderful experience that at first, for the first hour, even for whole 8 hours of walking for a long walk, walang result. But at the end, last minute, time na may bumiling customer. So because that is sent by God. So God is just testing how God is testing us. How can we persevere in every situation? Yeah. So in every mission, how can we persevere? So that is in terms of fundraising. So now in the in terms of family, yes, we have lots of challenges in the family. In terms of mission, the love, we have may mga challenges din tayo. So I think we just have to move on and don't give up. Kaya sabi dito kanina, sweet taste leave a bitter taste, while bitter things have some sweetness in them. So I think we can, when we are encountering those difficulties in our lives, hindi natin alam na really it's really hard. But when we overcome them, I'm sure and after a few hours, after a few years, yun ang memories natin, treasure natin. So the thing is, walang susuko po. So sa family level, another challenge then is in terms of husband and wife, or taking care of the family, taking care of children. I'm sure those who started families, and for those who are starting families, there are a lot of challenges, but I think we just have to overcome them. And another challenge for us is for those who to do Tribal Messiah at this level, through Tribal Messiah, and then at first I was challenged to do HTM, but I was not convinced at the beginning, but through the encouragement of HTM coordinator dito and mga leaders dito, I was able to start HTM sa Bicol. Thank you very much to our HTM coordinator, Brother Ramon. And of course, our partners, Nina and Kuya Alex sa Bicol, thank you so much for your wonderful effort in taking care of our tribes in Bicol. Thank you. And the next challenge is to be Chongbo. I think that's the next challenge that I'm trying to work on. So that's it. And thank you very much. Have a great day. And let's challenge ourselves to become Chongbo families. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Brother Joaquin Kalugan. Next, we'd like to call on Sister Mona Iwano. Let us give her a round of virtual applause. Is she here?
It's not in this one.
Okay, if she is not here, let us call on the next for the next reflection. Let us call on Brother Lubert Mangaoil.
Okay, can you hear me? Thank you very much for this opportunity to share. I think that the message about perseverance, forbearance, I think it's so timing for me because I have a lot of challenges to face. I think that all of us has a lot of difficulties and challenges to face, and in my case, I struggle because I could not start my goal for the HTM, which is I was planning for a long time, and before the coronavirus pandemic, I was doing well with my job, and I could be able to do my job well, and I could make financial stability so that I could start my HTM Providence in my hometown in the Philippines. But then I was not able to love the people that I work with, all of them, which is I have this in my prayer all the time to humble myself and love everybody. And then I remember Dr. Young's message right after so many struggles that I came to realize that I made a lot of mistakes. Because of that, my mistakes, I could not do well. I could not continue to receive the blessing. I was not able to continue to have overtime, and then because of that, and then when you try to love everyone, you have to love everybody 100%. You cannot, when you hate somebody or you're feeling intimidated by someone, because it's a challenge for each one of us to be able to love everybody. And sometimes you cannot love everyone when there is a person that is so difficult to love. And this is a challenge. And then because of that, you don't want to communicate to that person. And I think this is one of my mistakes, to be able to not to be able to love everybody in the company that I work with. So there is one Shacho in the company that is so nice to me, but then and around the area, in my case, I can love everybody, but there is one person that is so difficult to love. And because of that, I was not able to continue to receive the blessing that they're giving me this overtime, so that I could accumulate some amount of financial stability so that I can start my Heavenly Tribal Messiah. And then I feel to fulfill that responsibility. I came to realize that all of us has this difficult challenge to overcome within ourselves, especially in my case, because I grew up with the environment with so much fallen nature with my family, my uncles, my grandparents. They threw bad words to each other, and I grew up with this community. So I have this inborn personality that is so difficult to overcome. And I think that some of us has that kind of personality as well. So, and I cannot judge. That's the reason why when you especially when you reach a certain level of excellence, when you're doing well, and then you compare to others that you feel like you're the best, you tend to be arrogant. And then I was like this kind of person. So this is also a great reflection, because this message today that was given by our national leader, Reverend Angelo Halog, is about this forbearance, or perseverance, and overcoming difficulties. So it was a good timing for me. I came to realize that I really need to humble myself more. I also understand that in the fields of any kinds of activity, sports or business, when people reach a certain level of excellence, they become arrogant. I came to understand that. And then also, when God created Adam and Eve, and then Adam and Eve fell, and he continued to persevere and send so many central figures of the past. And then from Abraham, he failed to offer that offering of cutting the dove. He might think that it's insignificant because it's too small. He could not complete. And then anyway, God gave him another chance to be able to offer his son Isaac, which is more difficult. So when you face some kind of failure, and then God will give you another chance to overcome your difficulties and be able to give you another chance to become victorious. And I feel like this, so I have to persevere, and I have to be able to think about sense of humility, sensitivity, and then to be able to love everybody without any exception for everyone. So I came to realize that even though I made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I have so much fallen nature that I've inherited from my ancestors, I think that it's my responsibility to liberate my ancestors, and I really have to humble down myself. So I encourage everybody to, if you have the same kind of problem like me, it's time for us to be humble. It's time for us to think about continue to persevere. And yeah, there's a lot of challenges to face that we have. And because of our mistake, not being able to humble ourselves and not be able to persevere, challenges will continue to be more heavy. So I think that we have to understand God as having a lot of this patience, God's patience. When God created Adam and Eve fell, and then even himself said, "I'm sorry, I created men because they fell." And then God took responsibility to continue to move forward, and then sent so many central figures. Failures come and go, victory, failures, victory, even Jesus. And then he gave his life. Even the one who prepared to support Jesus, like John the Baptist. I can understand the heart of John the Baptist, why he failed to support Jesus. I feel like I have the same kind of character with John the Baptist. That's the reason why when you reach really a certain level of excellence, you tend to become arrogant, and then it's so difficult to humble. And this is a great realization for me. That's the reason why John the Baptist failed to fulfill his responsibility, and I understand his failure, so we cannot accuse them anymore. We have to learn from their mistake. Even the true family, the true children, they reach a certain level of excellence. They graduated from Harvard University. They are so intelligent, and yet they were not able to humble down themselves and unite with true father and true mother. They created their own group and separated from us. And because of that, a lot of these brothers and sisters in our movement, just left the church, and then it's so frustrating to have that. And so I came to realize that even though how much failure that we have, that even though how much difficulties and challenges that we see around us within our family movement, when I look at true parents who persevered also as a Messiah, successful Messiah, but then their own children failed to fulfill their responsibility. So it encouraged me to think that no matter how hard our difficulties are, and then it's constantly coming difficulties and challenges that we face, I think that for as long as our physical body is alive, we need to continue to keep moving forward and unite with God and true parents, because no matter what, true parents are the successful Messiah. We have to look upon them. True parents are the successful Messiah, so we cannot look for another Messiahs anymore. This encouraged me to persevere. And I remember when I first joined the movement, sorry, it takes time for me to give reflection. I want to make it shorter. I remember the words of True Father when I first joined the movement, when I was in difficult challenges. It says, the more you persevere, the more you go through difficulties, the more you will realize later that you are going deeper and deeper into God's heart. And so really God's heart is a God of suffering. When we understand his suffering, losing these old children that come and go, and then all these probably trillions of souls in the spirit world are suffering, and even the 7.8 billion are suffering, still God is continue to love us, continue to persevere. And I think it's a good realization that we must be like, inherit that kind of heart of God's suffering and perseverance, but also true parents. Especially we are having this goal of coming 2027 of supporting True Mother with this Heavenly Unified World, and then next year for Heavenly Unified Korea. So we must keep moving forward to be able to unite with True Mother's leadership, because True Father in Heaven, with all the 4 great saints and all the leaders, are working hard in the spiritual also as well. So I think that we need to continue to persevere, continue to keep moving forward, never give up. In my case, I have difficulties financially stable. It's still financially stable, but it's just how to say, I cannot save anything. It's just survival at this moment for few years, and then we are affected by the company, and then now because of coronavirus, not enough job. I only work 8 hours and no overtime, and sometimes it's not enough money. Really, I have a lot of difficulties, and anyway, I just want to pray that I hope that all of us can truly go through a lot of perseverance and continue to move forward and still be grateful and really humble ourselves and continue to, listen to this morning devotion so that we can have a lot of energy, a lot of perseverance, and a lot of hope that in the end we can still fulfill that responsibility. I have a goal that while True Mother is still alive, I want to fulfill that Heavenly Tribal Messiah until 2027. And I hope I can make that happen for as long as I do my Jongsong and morning devotion every day. Anyway, that's all, brothers and sisters. Thank you. Sorry I've taken so much time for this, but it's also my first time to share with this morning devotion. I'm so grateful. I know that at least as a PhilJep community, I was able to share. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brother Lubert Mangaoy. Next, we'd like to ask Brother Rafael Ablong to give us his reflection.
Good morning, our leaders, elders, and brothers and sisters. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I just have to raise my hand because I was inspired by the morning message and also by the first reflection of Jack Kalugan, and followed by our brother Lubert Mangawil. Just about forbearance with patience, connection to vision and mission, not just watching, but we have to do something for heaven, even if it's very difficult at this time. I think for most brothers and sisters, the difficulty in Japan is in the service and manufacturing companies. But for us in the educational field, we are still fortunate that we can still teach and we can still have, the same. There's no increase, there's no decrease, just opportunities. This year has been, for the past 3 years, has been very difficult when it comes to the Tung Ilmodo Providence here in Japan, especially with regards to the existence of the Tung Ilmodo at the Fukuoka International School, where I have been teaching for the last 21 years and have done different positions. For the last 3 years, I have been battered by Korean Christians and a French faculty member. The Tung Ilmodo is, part of the religious objectives of Reverend Mrs. Moon, and we are not there to teach martial arts, but to convert people. So it has been very hard for the last 3 years for me, but I never stopped. There were times when I just, wanted to give up, but thinking of the enormous foundation of true parents, hard work, sacrifice, and suffering, I can just, greet my, I have to endure and persevere. I wanted to meet the parents of the Korean Christians to talk to them about Tung Ilmodo, that we are not teaching theology in school, but we bring them outside. That's why we do Kumamoto workshop, different kinds of workshops outside the school. because there we teach them values and principles related to, of course, the Unification Church. One of them, Romanian, one of my assistants here at the school, a Romanian black belt. I think he was partly convinced by the French teacher. So I told him that as you know, we are not teaching religion or theology in school, but we do it outside. If you want to learn about the church, I can bring them to the church. I can bring you to the church. I know where it is. I have been a member of the church for many, many years. Better than you know. So I want you to believe in me and just follow what I say. Because these people who are persecuting me did not even attend one-day workshop. They just learned about the church on YouTube and from people who have negative perceptions about our movement. So I had to confront, and I was confronted by the head of school. So I had to tell the head of school that, as you know, even your son studies martial arts under me. You ask your son if he learned religion from me or martial arts in school, and ask him what he learned outside. Is it making him a bad person or a good person? And then he was silent. He left. So this year has become like, it has reached a boiling point. So the PTA was trying to, stop the program of paying. The PTA pays for the martial arts program every year. It's about 500 to 600,000 a year. So they want to stop that, paying. And so they asked me to require the students to pay instead. So I made a letter to the parents. I did so many things, including coordination work. And finally, to cut the story short, it went back to the PTA. The PTA decided to refund the program because the parents who went to the workshops, their children attended Tung Ilmodo, testified and supported me. So with this kind of situation, I thought that forbearance with patience really pays off. It takes time to convince people. It takes time to make them realize that we are helping people to become better and to realize a peaceful world. The other one that I want to share is the recent invitations that we have to do for the PCLC. Recently, my regional leader, Brother June, asked me to, do something for, like inviting VIPs or, something like that. So I hardly was not able to. It was like really hard to sleep sometimes. So I thought about it. Sometimes I wake up at 2 o'clock, try to connect to what I can do. Then one morning, as I was reading, because we do our own Hunduke tradition at home, just as a spark, I just started writing, learning from others to live for others. And then after that, I started writing down the VIPs. I didn't know what I was doing at first, but then I looked at the finished product. I realized that I think this is the way to go. So I would like to honestly say that I think among our brothers and sisters in Japan, I am most lucky, because I teach at a school where diplomats, generals, ambassadors, big business owners, children are studying at school. So I know a lot of VIPs in Japan who are connected with the different, embassies and even the UN. But I haven't really, used that potential because of the strict policies of the school, especially emails and communications. So I have to stick by the rules and never to introduce their parents, because they might be exposed to people who have bad intentions. So I just started writing, and for the first time, I realized that this is God's revelation. So this week, I started doing that. I communicated Brother June, Brother Roy, and of course, there were comments about why there were no meetings about it. But so I just said that Brother Roy explained that it has to be done quickly. So I apologize for that. But I think I attended this the first lecturer's church. I do morning traditions in Unification Church, but I do Wednesday evening tradition with a Christian Apostolic Church. The speaker last night was Mr. Blackdwayne, but actually he's a pastor. He is a guidance counselor at the school, but at the same time he serves as the pastor of the church in Fukuoka. So I had talks with him before, and he's a very good friend. I cooked chicken curry for him and his family, and I went to his home and eat together with his wife. We are very good friends at school. We support each other every time. So I'm so glad that he agreed to speak, and I think that because of that, the internal foundation of the school is back into its place, it's more wide, more supported, not just through Tung Ilmodo, but by the revelation of Heavenly Parents through the invitational lectures. So I think that by inviting guests from different fields of specialization, we can broaden the base of BIP Foundation of PhilJap in Japan, so that it's not just for Philippine church, it's also for Japan, because we are in Japan. If we invite people living in Japan who are prominent in their fields, then we can also invite them to our Japanese church. I'm also active in the Japanese church, and so I think Reverend Pang would be happy to hear it. So I think that this morning service about forbearance with patience, and also about connection, and also doing something for God, is the main tool that we need to look at and to use whenever we face difficulties and challenges in this country. Lastly, when I came to Japan in 1996, one of my leaders told me, Japan is a desert. So you bring all the words of heaven that you can bring with you. So I brought all 5 books with me. The Holy Bible, of course, the Divine Principle, the Unification Thought, the Book of Traditions, and the Way of Tradition. So it's very important that we continue doing whatever we can do for heaven, even if it's very difficult. I know that because of COVID, some families in Japan are facing hardships in work, in financial matters, but God knows our situation, and He will not stop. So let us not stop. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Thank you very much, Brother Rafael Ablong. We are very thankful. Let us give again a round of applause for those who give their reflections. So like to say sorry for those who raised hand, because it is already time. It will be next time. So before our closing prayer, let us welcome first our HPHC-FFWPU Philippines Executive Secretary, Ms. Yevgeny Patulo.
Good morning to all our leaders, brothers and sisters. Here are the news and announcement. Today is the 5th day of this special Jongsong condition. We want to remind all blessed families and members to offer prayers during this 21-day devotional period at any time of the day based on the following prayer points. First, for the protection and good health of True Mother. Second, for the protection and good health of all leaders and members during this time of pandemic. Third, for the victorious realization of the Heavenly Unified Korea and Heavenly Unified World. Fourth, for all members to have victorious resolve in accomplishing the Yojong offering. Fifth, for the victory of the Pacific Christian Leadership Conference, inaugural convocation on October 4 and rally on October 5. Sixth, for victoriously finding prepared Christian leaders and organizations to fully support the PCLC. 7. For all blessed families to become Chonbo families. We also want to remind all blessed families and members about the Yojong offering. Here are the informations about the special donation. Donation title, Yojong offering. Purpose of donation, offering to our beloved True Mother and to support the launching of the Pacific Christian Leadership Conference on October 4 and 5, 2021. This is all for all blessed families and members in Heavenly Asia Pacific 2. Donation amount for blessed families at least 2,100 pesos and for individual or single members at least 700 pesos. First deadline for donation is on October 30, 2021 and the final deadline will be on November 30, 2021. You can send your precious donations to the following bank account. For peso, you can send it to our PNB peso account. And for dollar, you can send it to our BPI dollar account. On October 4 and 5, 2021 is the Pacific Christian Leadership Conference, inaugural convocation and rally. We encourage all blessed families and members to participate and invite your relatives, friends, and colleagues to join in this very significant event. You can visit the PCLC official Facebook and Instagram page to get exclusive updates. On September 28, 2021 is the official start of the 12-day Yojong Leadership Training Program. To register, please contact Ms. Mary Rose Tormes or Ms. Jennifer Quasito through their messenger. There is a 300 pesos registration fee. On September 21 to 27, 2021 is the next schedule of the 7-day Divine Principle Virtual Seminar. There is a registration fee of 210 pesos and to register, please contact Ms. Marvic Advincula. Next month, on October 1 to 12, there is a 12-day Divine Principle Virtual Seminar schedule with a 400 registration fee. To register, feel free to contact Ms. Marvic Advincula. We want also to remind all blessed families and members about tithes and donations. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jenny. And to conclude this virtual morning devotion, I would like to ask our Philjap Regional Leader, Pastor Jun Humawan, for the closing prayer.
Please join me in my prayer. Our dearest, beloved Heavenly Parents, and our victorious true parents of heaven and earth and humankind, today we are very blessed to be able to receive your precious guidance, how we could be able to overcome and how we can be able to endure and be always grateful along the way in our life of faith. We have a lot of challenges this time, especially overcoming barriers, financial difficulties, problems in our society. This hinder us, Heavenly Parents, to be able to foresee the dreams and desire of our true mothers if we just look at in ourselves and our own difficulties. Beloved Heavenly Parents, we really need to understand and unite with our true parents' dream, with our true mother's dream and desire this time. And that is the only focus on the unification of North and South Korea, and to be able to restore all of their children all throughout the world. Heavenly Parents, with this, we cannot look at ourselves. We just want to be grateful for all the challenges and problems and difficulties that we had. Heavenly Parents, we have an incoming important activities. We have a very important challenge that we need to witness and guide Christians in the Asia Pacific realm, so that these Christian leaders, this Christian group could be able to help our true parents to be able to encourage North and South Korea to be united. Heavenly Parents, this success lies on our collective efforts of responsibility to do. Heavenly Parents, we are having the blessings to be able to move our tribal members. We are having that mission and responsibility to witness and stand as tribal Messiah. So this is our opportunity, Heavenly Parents, to be able to contribute for that dream and desire of our true parents. We really just need to really surpass our limitations and become victorious in this aspect. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much, Heavenly Parents, for the enlightenment that we received this morning once again. We are very happy and very grateful that we could be able to receive such wonderful love and blessings from you through our national leader. Heavenly Parents, may that this would be able to serve us as our guide, our inspirations all throughout the week, until, Heavenly Parents, the victory of this PCLC, or the Pacific Christian Leadership Conference, that would happen soon on October 4 and 5. Heavenly Parents, may that along the way in our mobilizations to be able to guide and inspire people, guide and witness our friends and relatives, Heavenly Parents, may that this would bring victory to all of us, and that we can be able to make our country as one contributor for the realizations of our true parents' dream and desire. Heavenly Parents, we wanted to unite with the directions led and given by our regional president in Asia Pacific to Reverend and Mrs. Hori, Heavenly Parents, so that we can be able to be guided and always be protected, always in our endeavor. Thank you so much. And I would like to pray in behalf of our brothers and sisters all throughout Philippines, all throughout abroad, who are listening and joining in this morning devotion. In our name, Jun Anjung Kuhumawan, this we pray. Aju.
Thank you very much. This will be the end of our virtual morning devotion. Once again, I'm Rio Gingayan as your MC and Field Job Community for the host for this morning. Before we end, let us have our morning greetings once again. Good morning, Heavenly Parent and true parents. To all leaders and brothers and sisters, happy Sunday to everyone. Thank you very much.
Sorry, let us have first our individual prayer.
Yes, sorry. Jew. Okay. So thank you very much for attending this morning devotion. To end this, we'd like to have once again our morning greetings. Please unmute yourself and let us greet. Good morning, Heavenly Parent and true parents, to all leaders, brothers and sisters.
Good morning, everyone.
This Sunday,
Good morning po, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Everybody,
Brothers and sisters, happy Sunday.
Maging kaya, thank you for everything. That was wonderful.
Morning.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Kay Willie.
Good